All right, welcome to the show, y'all. It's the Kyle Kulinski Show. I got an amazing, amazing show for you today. The right is completely and utterly falling apart. I have honestly never in my life seen them this much in disarray, this much off message. The right-wing pundits are just gone mentally. I cannot wait to show you these clips. It's incredible. So we have that. We have Piers Morgan cooking Nick Fuentes to a burnt little gay crisp. We have Jon Stewart brilliantly dissecting Trump's warmongering and spelling it out for everybody super clearly that war with Venezuela is the exact same as war with Iraq back in 2003. So we're looking at George W. Trump now. So we'll talk about that. Jasmine Crockett, she hopped in the race for the Senate in Texas. We got to talk about that. I think people are underestimating her at their own peril. I really believe that. I'm seeing a lot of goofy-ass posting about her running, so we'll break that down. And then later on, Glenn Beck interviews AI George Washington in a viral humiliation because even people on his own side are like, hey, dude, what the hell is this? What are you doing? Really? Interviewing AI George Washington? It's the goofiest thing I've ever seen. And you're not going to be surprised to learn AI George Washington sounds a lot like Glenn Beck. He just programmed it to sound like himself. So we'll talk about all that and more. You guys know the drill, man. Everybody please do me a huge favor and subscribe to the channel. You could also support the show on Patreon. That goes a long way. Remember, because this is real independent media, I've never talked to an advertiser. I've never done an ad read. I never will do an ad read. This show is funded by you guys through small dollar donations, monthly donations. So it makes a world of a difference if you give $2 a month or $5 a month. I've never talked to a billionaire or a corporation or a PAC or a government or anything like that. So thank you very much for those of you who do support the show on Patreon or tip with that thanks button below me on YouTube. You could also sign up for Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. We have Cameron Kasky, who's running for Congress, coming on this week. The guy's amazing. Cannot wait to talk to him. Definitely check that out. And then also, as I always say, subscribe to the Corn's World YouTube channel where we do live Kyle and Corn episodes. I think we almost hit 4 hours this Monday. That's how long it was. We answered all the super chats. We had a great time, so come hang out with us every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive right in because this stuff is wild. I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know where to begin in describing who has beef with who, because if I'm being honest, the entire right wing has beef with the entire right wing today. Every single pundit and host and politician and person you could think of on the right, they are feuding with somebody else on the right. When I say they have taken their eye off the ball, I mean it, man. They're like the left who? Who's the left? I've never even heard of the left wing. Do we have a left wing? No, I'm busy throwing haymakers at, my fellow right-wingers over here. So as you all know, I guess you could say this all started with Tucker and Nick Fuentes and Candace in this loose collection of right-wingers, and they were kind of on the same side, and they were up against like Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro and Trump in many respects, right? And then this sort of branched out because Candace Owens really started going hard on the conspiracies to the point where now she's sort of implying that TPUSA is responsible for Charlie Kirk being killed and the U.S. military is responsible for Charlie Kirk being killed. And she's, of course, doing this whole, Bridget Macron is a man thing and trying to connect all of that together. And you have a bunch of right-wingers who are pro-TPUSA who are now like snapping and going after Candace viciously over that. And then she fires back. And of course, her star power has risen. So now she's bigger than all the people she's fighting with. And so now she's effectively doing like this divide and conquer thing on the right. I don't think she's doing it on purpose, but she's doing this divide and conquer thing on the right where all of the people on the right who are smaller than her are just getting nuked in this back and forth. So one great example of that is Tim Pool. So Tim Pool comes out and he makes this, does this whole spiel about how, look, we might have to just shut down the show. I might have to just shut down my show. So let's start with this one. Take a look.
So where does it leave us? We have 2 weeks left in the year before we go on our Christmas hiatus. I'm not a big fan of any kind of hiatus. I would prefer just to work. But it is taxing. It is grueling, of course.
Bro. You talking to a microphone in an air-conditioned studio. Spare me. Spare me. I do what you do. Spare me. Oh, it's really tough work, bro. Oh my God, I need workman's comp. My back went out from sitting in my big comfy chair all day, bro.
There's a lot of infrastructure here that requires me to work all day, every day, Monday to Friday, with some extra work on the weekends, usually meetings. And I'm probably gonna have a stroke.
Now, I should also point out, he says somebody came and like threatened them and like shot at his property or something the other day, and Nick is blaming Candace directly for that. So to say it's messy is an understatement. This is like full-on drama queen stuff here.
My health's actually pretty good. My blood pressure is great. My resting heart rate is actually around 45. I exercise quite a bit. Haven't been able to skate in the past month or two, the holidays, and But we have to have these conversations, and I have been with the people, our contractors, people we work with, our vendors, partners. And one thing is clear: the violence will get worse. It is going to escalate. We cannot keep going as status quo. Something has to change. It may be that, as we described after the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the threat to come and shoot up our studio and our workplace, we asked, at what point do we say, we can't do this anymore? The cost of running Timcast IRL Studio and the projects around it exceeds the amount of money it brings in.
Oh, man. Tim, you are just opening up the door for people to point out that you were taking money from that company that was taking money directly from the Russian government. You're just begging for people to point that out when you bring this up, bro. Tenant Media, Lauren Chen, it was proven they were taking money directly from the Russian government, and you were one of the beneficiaries, along with Dave Rubin and a few others. Benny Johnson, that closet case. So, I mean, you're just begging for it. You're begging for it. And by the way, like, again, I do what you do. The idea that you can't rein in costs to make what you do profitable is preposterous. Of course you can. But you chose to have this giant fucking studio and hire all these people for Lord knows what the fuck they do. That's a you problem.
That's just that breaking point, isn't it, for any business? If you need $100 to, run your restaurant, but you're only bringing 90, you go out of business. The issue? The cost isn't cameras or lights. The cost is security because of the escalation. It's an artificial cost to doing business that we can't balance. We can't forego security, but we can't sustain it either. So I've had some conversations with our partners, been talking with Rumble. There may be a solution, and it's going to be rapid change very quickly. We're going to have some emergency meetings. We've already had emergency meetings for obvious reasons. And there is a possibility that the 19th is the last episode of Timcast IRL.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he do this already once before where he said he was quitting? Am I making that up? Is that like a false memory that I have? I seem to remember him doing this before, saying like, that's it, we got to wrap it up, it's over, it's done, sorry guys. And now he's doing it again. And by the way, I should point out, all of Candace's people, all of her fans, all of her supporters are not even buying what he says about his place getting shot at. They're calling bullshit on that. And then there's one asshole on Twitter who called like the sheriff's department, or thought he called the sheriff's department in Tim's area, and the sheriff was like, we have no record of any police being called to this place or having an issue like this, right? But then another person who was pro Tim called the sheriff's department, and that sheriff was like, oh yeah, we did have a thing. So like when I say it's dueling narratives out there, oh my fucking God, they are ripping each other to shreds, bro.
We are doing everything we can to make sure that's not going to be the case. It's no secret that I've been frustrated and disillusioned with a lot of people in politics, but that's no reason to walk away from doing our nightly show with a tremendous success. But the cost is not just money anymore. The cost is the safety of my family, myself, and there are many ideas we're floating around.
So he comes out and does that. Candace's people are like, shut the fuck up. You're being dramatic. We don't even believe you that you got shot at. So they are, woo boy, are they going at it. But Tim also, here we go. Here's another one of Tim. Who does he flip out on this one? Let's watch.
That's rallying young people, causing a shift in the political leanings of a generation for the first time in history, is now in dire straits. Their leader and founder murdered, and prominent pieces of human trash are trying to destroy it.
Talking about TPUSA, of course.
It's fucking evil. So you know what? When someone pulls in front of my property and fires on it several times, I'm sitting here looking at these vile pieces of shit and thinking to myself, for what purpose will I stick my neck out if this is what happens after Charlie Kirk is killed? Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag.
Woo!
She is a degenerate cunt.
Oh.
She is burning everything down, and she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me? She has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with.
Calm down, Tim. Calm down, Tim. Reel it in, bro. What are you talking about? Let's take it easy, bro.
A piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it. They send me these fucking messages. Good for you, Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me like I did something for you as you fucking cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which she's doing to me right fucking now.
Yeah, that was the...
I'm fucking done with these people.
She has security, just not on the level of you.
Oh, yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors. She doesn't give two fucking shits. No one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy, and she doesn't give a shit about her security. Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my fucking property, and I have to go live in the middle of nowhere. And I got fucking strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in. I got people showing up and beating up the residents who try to live there. How the fuck am I even supposed to sell this property? And, you know, it's all lies. It's all hypocrisy. And it is for the purpose of making money. And she does not live the way other people live. And she claims she liked Charlie. She loved Charlie. And she is burning everything down that he built because she is evil. She is evil. And I'll say it again. This conservative movement is fractured. It's fried, whatever it is. Okay? Republicans are on track to lose the midterms. They were actually trending the other direction until Charlie Kirk was murdered.
Oh, that might be one of the biggest lies I've ever heard in politics, bro. That might be one of the biggest fucking lies I've ever heard in politics. What are you talking about, son? Ever since Trump got back in the White House, from day one and on, it's just going straight down that slide to 35%, which is where he sits right now. Are you kidding me? Inflation going up, unemployment out of control, concentration camps being built, no more due process, bombing Iran, bombing Venezuela, bombing Somalia, bombing Yemen, the most corrupt regime we've ever seen, knocking down the East Wing of the White House to build the Epstein Memorial Ballroom, selling out to billionaires to an extent nobody's ever witnessed before. What are you talking about? The government shutdown. He held a Great Gatsby Roaring 20s party with billionaires at the same time he froze food stamps for millions of Americans, tens of millions of Americans. He froze 94 million pounds of food aid from going to food banks, further starving Americans as he's partying with billionaires. Are you kidding me? This has nothing to do. I have my criticisms of all of you idiots in right-wing media. This has nothing to do with any of you. This has to do with Trump royally fucking up colossally because he doesn't give a fuck about anybody but himself. He's a deep narcissist. Oh, we were doing great until Charlie got killed. That is total fucking cope. Holy shit. The Republicans passed a bill that kicked 17 million people off Medicaid. 17 million. You think there's no electoral consequences for that? What a jackass. Jesus Christ.
And this is the point, isn't it? The most effective political assassination in history. And thanks to the likes of the vile cunt Candace Owens, she has turned Turning Point into the perpetrators of the crime that was against them.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I still got more for you. So I believe this was from the same rant. Let's keep going.
I don't get paid by any of these people. I'm not on good terms necessarily with Turning Point USA. They didn't invite me to their stupid event. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. They invited me back after I started criticizing Candace. I'm not going to your event. I'm over all of this shit. The last thing that I need to deal with is a bunch of cowards in conservative media refusing to stand up to her. Megyn Kelly, come on. I appreciate the kind words, but come on. Such fucking pathetic bullshit. You know, and I get people saying, Tim, you know, thank you so much for talking about it. I don't care. I'm not doing a favor for anybody. I'm not doing this to benefit anybody. Nobody's paying me. There's no fucking Russia. There's no fucking Israel. There's just me sticking my neck out and then risking dying for what? A bunch of cowards that want to stand up to protect themselves? People like fucking Candace Owens?
I couldn't believe that she put you.
Wow. Megyn Kelly called a mean straysky theirs, bro. She was like, hey, Tim, thank you for going after Candace. She really is acting fucking crazy. We appreciate it. And he's like, how about I come out and tell everybody that you're a little coward and you agree with me, but you won't say anything because you're scared of the backlash. Wow. Wow. It's getting so messy, bro.
You in the thumbnail.
What a fucking cunt.
Of her piece today.
I'm done.
The idea that she didn't imply that you had some benefit or that you benefit somehow.
She benefited. I think she's a Fed and I think she killed Charlie. No one benefited more than her.
One of the things you're going to notice is the right-wingers if they're infighting, they will immediately go to Fed, you're Fed, you're Fed, you're Fed. They start immediately screaming that they're Feds. But also now blaming Candace for the killing of Charlie Kirk. Jesus, Tim. That one's not going to go over well. All right, so we got part of the response here from Candace. Let's get it.
He is a fundamentally weak man for what he did there. He should apologize. He won't. I don't care what happens to his platform. He's now essentially trying out because he's under financial pressure. He's trying out for a Zionist to pay him, and they will. Okay, they will cut him a check, and I hope it happens for you, Tim. I hope it makes you happy. But to do that to someone who has never done anything to you other than disagree with you about the Charlie Kirk narrative, I have not focused my content on you, and anytime your name has come up, it has been because you have explicitly been attacking me. You are a coward. You are less than a man. Ooh. Okay, you are behaving. Your type right there is like a person who's having financial issues and yet decides to go out and put $100K on a poker game. And when he loses and is a further $100K in the hole, comes back home and beats his wife and kids and thinks he's a tough guy. That's how you're acting right now. I'm not your wife. I'm not your kids. Get your affairs in order and stop blaming me, because I'm actually traversing down the path that hasn't been traveled by standing up and saying that something corrupt happened and Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And I don't care about your midterms. Okay? I don't care about your next year midterms and whether or not the Republican Party is united. Okay, because I don't want to stand next to people that would cover up Charlie Kirk's assassination. And I hope that I have made my point perfectly clear.
She doesn't care about your midterms, you little Republican lackey ass bitch. She does not care about your midterms. Fuck your midterms. Fuck your midterms. Oh my God. Bro, inject it straight into my veins. And the bottom line is, Tim Pool's going, well, what the fuck? Hold on. Why are we not all unified and blaming liberals and leftists and trans people for the killing of Charlie Kirk, blaming, Tyler Robinson, believing the narrative that, it was him and he was the lone one to do it and all that. And Candace is going, how about fuck off? And I drop a stink bomb right into your narrative and I point out a lot of this shit doesn't add up. And so the whole, unified right-wing front where they would collectively blame the entire left for this, it's falling apart. And so many right-wingers are going, look, I don't like the left, but sorry, it's not their fault. This is not them. So woo, buddy. All right, we got some more here. This one is yet again, Tim Pool comes back again and starts responding to Candace Owens. Let's go.
Candace is losing the argument, and she knows it. More and more people are calling her
By the way, that's total cope, because online, he's the one who's getting the most shit.
They're saying she's exploiting people. She's making a conspiracy mob, and more people are starting to come out. I was not the first. Anybody who feels that my speaking up has opened up an opportunity for them to do so, that's great. I'm not doing this for anybody else. I just literally talk about what I feel, and much to my own detriment. So here's the post she had. She said, here's Clint Russell. He said, Podcast Wars 2025 has officially begun. She says, I cannot explain it, but I sense that this isn't actually about me, and that Tim Pool is under tremendous financial pressure. Men behave a certain way when they are under economic pressure, and I feel like he's just lashing out, and I happen to be here. This is Candace Owens saying, I lost the argument.
He's trying so hard. Actually, I'm doing great. I'm not. I feel great, bro. I don't even know what you're talking about. Everybody's on my side. Have you seen it? I haven't seen anybody disagree with me.
Her shows never resolve any of the mysteries she presents. She's just asking questions. She claimed UTC was Utah time. She said there's Egyptian planes flying all around. There aren't. There are Egyptian planes flying around for sure, but the ones she's apparently pointing to, some of them aren't even in the United States. Some of them it's just coincidence, but she's just asking questions. She then claimed that some of these airplanes are landing at airports where black SUVs are driving to a federal building, in which the address she read off was the address of her own lawyers.
I love how the conspiracy mongering on the right has now come back to bite them in the ass so hard. They thought they could feed this conspiracy monster but keep it under control. Well, how'd that work out?
However, she confirmed that feds do work out of that building. Funny, her feds work in the same building as her lawyers. She never vetted that these SUVs were coming from the airport. That was all just blah in the email. She then said, I confirm the address that has feds in it, which then leads people to assume that this confirms the whole story about planes landing and SUVs coming to this thing. She never said she vetted that or confirmed it. You see the game she's playing. Now she's being exposed because people are starting to speak out against her. And there are certain people who do it with reckless abandon, like myself, because I just don't care. I'm not here for diplomacy. I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to be the number one podcast. I literally just turn the camera on and whinge. And whinge I will. In an unhinged rant, says Daily Beast. So now she's going for the female debate strategy. Strike at Tim Pool's stability, his emotional stability, his financial stability.
I mean, your emotional stability was not very good in that last video, bro. It doesn't take a genius to see that one. That's pretty obvious.
This actually makes an argument. By the way, I might add, Candace, behind me right there is a $3,000 Magic the Gathering card. Certainly if I was under, and next to it is a $700 card. In fact, you can look at all of my dual lands. Oh, how about this? How about this $20,000 Meteorite Jian? That's correct. That sword was forged from meteorite, and it is very expensive. Spare me your stupid games.
Why? What the fuck does that have to do with anything, Tim? Is Tim okay? He's having some sort of a breakdown. Like, this is some sort of a breakdown. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? You're the one who is saying, oh, we can't keep the show going. The money doesn't work. So if she pointed out money problems, that's because you pointed out money problems first. What are you doing? What are you doing? Bro, I've never seen a rift this big on the right. I've never seen it. Nick Fuentes now gets in on the fun. So he says, everybody's afraid of Candace Owens. I'm not. And if TPUSA or Tim Pool fails to, expose her, I'm going to get in on that. Here we go.
And I just can't wait for December 15th when Turning Point, they better bring their A game. They got a lot riding on this.
So, by the way, Turning Point is doing a thing where they respond to everything Candace has said, all the conspiracies regarding Charlie. But Candace has said, I will live stream their live stream and react to it in real time. And here's Nick saying, I'm on Team TPUSA. Crazy, because this is a guy who started Groiper War against fucking Charlie Kirk. Now he's on Team TPUSA against Candace, and he says this.
I'm looking forward to the Turning Point live stream where they respond to everything. I plan on live streaming that. And depending on how they do, if they don't do a good enough job, I think I'm going to have to step up. And I think I'm going to have to expose Candace Owens for what she really is.
So Nick is against Candace on this because he's like, hold up. I do high IQ anti-Semitism, and he considers it low IQ anti-Semitism to try to say, well, Jews killed Charlie Kirk. And he especially finds it offensive, the stupid shit that Candace is doing vis-a-vis Bridget Macron, saying that she's a man, right? So he's like, you make all of us look stupid because you're the face of being like anti-Israel and anti-Zionist and anti-Jewish, and like, no, I need to be the face of that because you're a dipshit and I'm intelligent. So that's his angle. And so now he's totally against Candace. And now, ironically, on the side of TPUSA, who he literally had the Groiper War against when Charlie Kirk was alive.
I'm going to give them, they have the opportunity because they are involved in all this. But I am so frustrated with how people are handling it. They're losing. If Turning Point doesn't do a good enough job on December 15th, I'm going to have to step up. And just like I exposed Tucker Carlson and just like I exposed J.D. Vance, I'm going to have to step up and I'm going to have to blow the lid and expose everything about Candace Owens and reveal who she really is, who her husband is, who her donors are. And unlike her, I will be naming names. I will be coming with receipts. I will blow the lid on the whole thing and I'll give her the Tucker Carlson treatment. But I'll wait and see how the Turning Point USA stream goes. I think they're going to do a good job, but if they don't, then I'll finish it for them.
Really? You think they're going to do a good job? Candace is now getting like 900,000 viewers when her video was up for like 4 or 5 hours. Really? You think TPUSA is going to fucking keep up with that? Even if they do a substantively good job, in the court of public opinion, they're going to get hammered, dog. Come on, you know that.
Nobody else will do it. Everybody else is afraid of Candace Owens. I'm not afraid of some ignorant black bitch. Okay?
Oh, shit.
Everybody's afraid of a black Karen. I'm not. I'm a Groiper.
Oh, snap, son. Candace, you gonna let him talk to you like that, bro? You gonna let him talk to you like, come on now. Oh, you can't let that one slide, Candace. You can't let that one slide. But then when this happens, so Nick has been calling out Ian Carroll because Ian Carroll is, of course, sort of on Team Candace, where, they talk about the Charlie Kirk shooting, and they go into the conspiracies on that. And Nick is refusing to go along with those conspiracies. He thinks it was just Tyler Robinson who killed Charlie Kirk, and that's pretty much it. Like, he generally agrees with the official narrative. And so that's leading Ian Carroll to be like, hey, what the fuck, man? I thought we were, like, on the same side. And then Nick comes after Carroll. Carroll comes back at Nick, and here's one example of that here.
Saw Ian Carroll came out today on a live stream pleading with me to join in on the conspiracy. If you think that, I feel sorry for you. Because you are retarded.
Actually, Nick, I wasn't pleading with you to join in on anything. I was asking or encouraging you to clarify your position on this whole thing. And oh boy, did you clarify it. And I suppose the only way that I can put it is that you clarified that you stand firmly with the Fed slop narrative, that Tyler Robinson is the guy. And Tyler Robinson alone apparently murdered Charlie Kirk. And honestly, like, I wasn't trying to call you a Fed. I wasn't trying to shit on you. I was trying to actually be quite gracious and quite kind. I praised you multiple times throughout that segment. But in the spirit of your response, in the spirit of calling people retarded who have been going through the evidence for months, where I have seen you produce zero, I thought that I would put it all very plain and very clear for you, Nick, where if you want to see the evidence, I'm about to show you a whole bunch of evidence. And I'm also going to go through your response and just break down how weird and fucking, honestly, Fed-coded it is. Your response read a lot like a Snopes article, and it was very uncomfortable to watch because I was not expecting it to be quite that. So, real quick, because this is the internet, we'll start with a quick cut of the whole thing, the evidence.
So he goes on, he does like a 2-hour stream trying to break it down for him. Then Nick comes out, fires back again. Watch this one.
Want to call you a Fed and imply you're disingenuous, but genuinely, when was the last time someone told their audience to get involved in politics? Not just voting, but taking the helm.
At this point, I'm convinced that Ian is an operative. Ian
Immediately, you're a Fed, you're a Fed.
is pro RFK Jr. He said he defended Eric Prince repeatedly, defended the Gaza deal. He's on Joe Rogan with his Kabbalah bracelet. And you want to know why I think that? It's because I was talking to him and he was treating me like a robot. Because I texted Ian Carroll the other day and I said, you know what, man, fuck you. I said, I defended you. I said, when everybody was calling you an operative because of your Kabbalah bracelet and whatever, I said, I defended you. I said, and this is how you repay me. We disagree, and now you call me a Fed. That's your go-to. It's not, I disagree with him, or I don't understand his position. It's, oh, he's a Fed.
You just did that back to him, too. By the way, let me just say, to all my beautiful liberals and lefties out there, God, this makes me realize how much I love you guys and how much our side is just so much better. Holy fucking shit. Any fight you can point to on the liberal and left-wing side, at the core of it is policy substance, is strategy. There's always some meat at the core of a disagreement. It's never this just like it. This is just, they become, low blow machines when there's some infighting on the right. Oh my God, they immediately say, I'm gonna go as low as humanly possible. And this is gonna wind up being a fight about fucking nothing. And we're just gonna start hurling accusations, forget why the original reason we're fighting is. It's incredible.
And you're a traitor. And he just wouldn't, he's like, just talking right past me. He's like, well, this isn't about you or me. This is about Charlie and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, it's about me because you're calling me a Fed and you're a traitor. I'll read it to you. These people, like, something's not right with these people. I don't know what it is, but something's not right. I'll read you the conversation.
Holy shit.
And it was a very weird conversation. So I texted him. I said,
Nick calls him the number one political streamer in America. He's like, let me read these text messages of this fight I was having with this other streamer. What is this, bro? Oh my God, they're so cooked. The right is so cooked. This is their media apparatus. Look at what their media apparatus has become. Like, Trump's at 35% approval rating. MAGA is totally collapsing. The economy is collapsing. The warmongering has been put on fucking steroids. And here these idiots are. Look at what I said to him, and then wait until you hear what he said back. Gosh golly.
You are a really disloyal person. I went to bat for you when people were calling you a Fed. Now because I disagree with you, you attack my credibility? Fuck you. He texted me. He said, watch the video. You're way out over your skis, man. Blatantly wrong, and it's hurting your credibility whether I point it out or not. Whether I pointed out, okay, but you're not attacking my credibility. You're calling me a Fed. Go rewatch your live stream segment about me. Did you think I wasn't going to respond? You asked for evidence, so I produced it. I said, you are saying has Fuentes flipped? Disagree all you want, but insinuating I work for Israel or the FBI, you are a total piece of shit. When people were attacking you for your Kabbalah bracelet, I called that out as paranoia and said they were being ridiculous. Now we disagree for the first time, and you immediately jump on bad faith accusations saying I'm controlled op. You are trash. You agreed with me that Candace Owens did me dirty and didn't say anything because you didn't want to offend her. There was nothing honest about you. And that's true, by the way. When Candace trashed me, he called me up and said, you're totally right about her, dude. She treated you terribly, but I don't want to say anything because she was nice to me. He replies, he goes, "This isn't about you, Nick. Someone killed Charlie Kirk, and it wasn't Tyler Robinson. This is one of the most important moments in our nation's history in our lifetimes, second to 9/11. Are you fucking kidding me? This is one of the most important moments in our nation's history in our lifetimes, second to probably only 9/11. In our nation's history? I guess in our lifetimes. Yeah, this is bigger than the Trump election and like COVID and... Yeah, are you kidding me? You're an idiot."
Oh my God. Milo gets in on the phone. "Nick J. Fuentes has been purchased. Let me catch you up. Tim Pool's one of the biggest owned by Israel cash for comments Zionist shill alive, who got busted having a secret meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu discussing payments and narratives. And this is Nick defending him."
Keep an open mind on Israeli involvement in Charlie's assassination. There are many fact and suspicious events pointing that way. Why are we stop noticing when it comes to this? America
No,
first.
you're an idiot. Sorry. Thank you for the big super chat, but I'm sorry. If you're on the Candace Owens train, I'm not even going to pretend like I'm going to try to appease you. It's wrong. It's stupid. All of it is stupid, and I'm not going to entertain it at all. And I thought Tim Pool had an epic go-off on it tonight. It was awesome. I have never seen such a clear-cut case of an individual person being such an unnecessary detriment through sheer ignorance and irresponsibility. I've never seen it. Because you could say other people that have done things like Shapiro or Charlie Kirk or whoever, you could say they're part of a system or there's an incentive structure, they're playing by the rules, whatever. Candace is spearheading this thing, like she is creating this hysteria, and it is to the detriment of everybody. It is to the detriment of the right wing broadly. It is to the detriment of anyone that seriously talks about Jews in Israel. And it's to the detriment of rationality.
I love this so much. So you have establishment Republicans who sucked ass, but then MAGA came along and made them sort of go extinct. Then you had MAGA in the driver's seat, but like Groyperism kind of came along and made MAGA seem like out of touch and dated, right? But now you have Candaceism comes along and sort of like outflanks the Groypers because she adds a whole big dash of conspiracism into, a similar far-right belief system. And now Fuentes is having a hard time controlling the narrative. This is what happens when your political movement is based on nothing but like just an endless array of lies. Like right-wing politics is just it's just drenched in lies. They're drowning in lies. Because at the end of the day, all they want to do is support the billionaires, support the fascists, and warmonger. That's it. So like that's the core of it. And then to them, the ends justify the means. So whoever we have to lie about to get to that point, whatever we have to lie about to get to that point, it's fine. So a movement where all of your pundit class are just like the fucking worst people on the planet. They're like demons. They're demon people. This is what happens. The movement starts to eat itself like this.
It is the definition of hysteria. And I thought Tim Pool, very courageous, because I know he's getting shit for it, to say something about it. He had an epic go-off on it. Oh. Major respect for him. But
oh my God. I mean, look, you got to point it out, though. It's proven that Tim is, a hack. It's been proven. We know about the Tenet media money, which, again, came from Russia through Tenet media to him. We do know about that meeting with Netanyahu. Why do you think Netanyahu chose him and, like, Dave Rubin and a bunch of other assholes? He chose the ones who were like, oh, these are the ones we can buy. These are the ones we can, like, get to spew our narrative uncritically. And so now you have the top, the top anti-Semitic, commentator snuggling up to Tim Pool. And so his audience is going, what the fuck? What are we watching here?
Yeah, no, I'm not with that at all. Thank you for the big super chat, but respectfully, no, disrespectfully, that is stupid, okay? And I don't buy into that for 2 seconds. Charlie Kirk was Israel's number. You say, why are we stop noticing? First of all, why are we stop noticing? You can't even write. You can't read or write. You're a fucking idiot. That's one. Two, nobody stopped noticing. Noticing is about paying attention to evidence. Evidence. Not scraping the bottom of the barrel talking about maroon t-shirts and looking at flight logs and finding any and every possible thing and throwing it at the wall to see what will stick. She says to Russell Brand, it's all connected. Brigitte Macron, Charlie Kirk, the war in Gaza. What a coincidence that everything you talk about is really all the same thing. You just knew it was going back to Brigitte Macron. So no, it's fucking bullshit.
It is kind of crazy that she's trying to have that at like the center of everything. Like, what? I'm sorry. Brigitte Macron is not a fucking man, no matter how much you desperately try to prove it.
You know, nobody wants to say that because everybody is afraid of this hysterical mob. I faced it before. I was right before. I'm right about this. I'll be vindicated. You watch. I'm done arguing about it. I've said what I have to say on it.
Now, in the midst of all of this going down, you ready? Last night we had some elections. Overperformance in today's elections. Florida District 11, Democrat 22-point pickup. Florida District 90, Democrat 18-point pickup. For the Miami mayoral election, Democrat plus 20, they flipped it for the first time since the fucking 1990s. Georgia, Democrat plus 13, Democrat flip. Iowa, Democrat plus 11. Democrats are surging fucking everywhere in the country. Everywhere in the country. Everywhere. And what's right-wing media doing? Fucking taking each other down in the most ruthless, vicious way I've ever seen. But again, final point, this is what happens when MAGA falls apart, when MAGA collapses, when Trump fails objectively, empirically. Factually speaking, he has failed. 35% approval rating, inflation going up, unemployment going up, warmongering all over the place, no more due process, rounding up innocent immigrants, like endless corruption, the likes of which we've never seen this bad, right? This is what happens. This is what happens. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.